we think in words. Through words, our thoughts are formulated. Human beings are different in this matter to every other creature. Plants, animals don't think. They have a certain intelligence, but not like the human beings. But their intelligence is more related to their instinct or related to the environment or to what they were created to do. For example, a dog will bark. They were designed to bark. Like a lion will roar. So on and so forth. So they have an intelligence that they were programmed with, but they simply react to the environment and their instincts, but not the human being. The human being has the power to formulate ideas and to think, and at times to act completely against their nature. For example, the human being can harm themselves. They can cut themselves, they can become addicted, they can destroy their own environment, am I right? They go against what nature says. Those who protect the nature, they can agree with me. So the human being is different from every other being because they have the capacity to formulate ideas. And to do that, they use words. You think with words. When you ask yourself, what will I eat today? You ask yourself a question. When you are making a decision between A or B, you think, if I choose A, this will happen, or if I choose B, that will happen. So you are talking to yourself. These are words in your mind. So if we think with words, and if we make decisions based on words, what are the words that are in us? Which words have we been nourishing and bringing inside us to help us make decisions or to think? There in Romans 10, the text says like this. The Word, referring to the Word of God, the Word is near you, by your side. The Word is near you, in your mouth and in your heart. That is the word of faith which we preach. When Paul spoke about it, he was quoting Deuteronomy chapter 30, when God, through Moses, spoke to the people that the words of God were not far from the people. The people had knowledge of the word. He said, "For this commandment which I command you today is not too mysterious for you, nor is it far off. It is not in heaven that you should say, who will ascend into heaven for us to bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it." In other words, the word is too far, it's in heaven, I cannot reach it. Nor is it beyond the sea, that you should say, who will go over the sea for us and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. Then Paul says this verse, the word is near you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. So, there are two things we must understand. First, if we want to have good thoughts, pay attention, you who are bombarded with bad thoughts at all times, worries, preoccupations, terrible things that come to your mind. If we want to have good thoughts and make good decisions, we need good words in us. This is logic, because thoughts and decisions are formed by words. The particle of a thought is the word. The particle of a decision is the word. We can say it's the atom. The smallest particle is the word. So if you want to form a good thought You need good words in your mind. Likewise, with a good decision. This is a fact. And second, if you don't have these words in you, so you need to do what the word is saying. You need to bring this word near you and to have it in your mouth. Meaning, you need to create the habit to speak the word of God, confess the word of God, instead of confessing destruction, complaints, or bad news, because unfortunately, we are great to spread bad news. I don't know if you haven't noticed that, because when you hear bad news and when you find someone, soon you say, "Did you hear it? What happened there?" You've heard bad news that impressed you, you found someone else, and you passed on that news. You must be careful, because bad news are in you because you hear them. So you bring those words inside you. But to bring the words of God near us means to speak these words instead of repeating what is negative and evil, to have the words of God in our mouth and to have them in our hearts. The two things are connected. If I have the word in my heart, if I have been meditating, thinking about the words of God because I brought them inside me through the reading of the word, through consuming words of God, I attend the church, I hear preachings, I attend meetings of faith. That's why Paul said, the word of faith which we preach. So you are hearing the words now, you are hearing the words that I'm preaching. So the word is entering you. So we absorb the word, it comes into our hearts, and then the mouth will speak about what your heart is filled with of. So if your heart is full of the word of God, it's natural when you are with a family member, a friend, or facing a hardship, and you need to make a decision. If your heart is filled with the word of God, it is natural at that moment for your mouth to say what? We are going to overcome this. God will guide us. God will give us a direction. Don't worry. You will pass on to others the word that is in you. Then the decisions will be better. Your own state of spirit, of mental health, emotional, physical health too, will be much better. But for that, you must understand the word must be near you. The word must be in your mouth and in your heart. Bring the word close to you. For example, I try to keep the word close to me. I'm not perfect, but I aim to report to the word of God. What does the Bible speak about this? I'm going through something. What does the Bible speak about this? And if I don't find in the Bible, I pray. I ask, Lord, what is your direction about this? I aim to bring the word near me, to be close to the Bible and the Bible to be close to me. Because the Bible is a shield, is a protection to us. It is a strong tower. So if the word is near me, it passes to my heart, it overflows through my mouth, and like this I live faith to faith and fighting against the words of death that you can find everywhere. You don't need to look for a bad word. They come to you. The bad words come through the mobile phone, TV, friends, music, news. Everywhere you find negative words. You don't need to go after them. They come to you. But the words of God, you must be intentional about them, to seek for them. But one thing is certain, if they are in you, you will have strength, you will have better and more noble thoughts, correct thoughts, constructive ones, creative ones, thoughts that will lead you forward and not backwards. You will have inside you the capacity to make good decisions, assertive decisions that will guide you to a good end. So embrace the Word. Embrace the Word of God. Confess the Word of God that is inside you. Bring the Word of God near you. And when we go to church, remember, the word church is what? It is a congregation, an assembly of people who gather together to hear the Word of God. Of course, you can hear the Word of God anywhere through the internet. But the Word itself says that we should not forsake the assembling of ourselves together, because there is a difference between hearing the Word of God by yourself through my earphones and to hear it in the company of people of faith, to hear in person, because there's a spirit in that word that is passed to me. There's 100% of focus on what I'm going through, and it's very different. This is what the Word of God says. So enjoy it and make the most of this information. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.